This is Roger with Wheel Kinetics in Tucson, Arizona. We're selling this truck. It is a 2004 Ford F250 four-door super cab. It is a 6.0 turbo diesel 4x4. It's an XLT with leather, and it has the FX4 suspension package, which is upgraded Rancho suspension, which is a factory FX4 package. It has 157,000 miles. It's on a salvage title due to theft, not collision. Please watch the 3-minute animated video that we have that we show to people on these salvage thefts. It describes how and why you can have a salvage title and not have a flood or crash or burn or anything else. It's just an insurance liability issue. Watch the video, you'll understand what's happening. We buy hundreds and hundreds of these a year. Probably this year, probably 500 or 600 this year. Anyway, my job is to walk around and show you what's wrong, not what's right with this truck, so that when it gets to your city, wherever it is, if you're shipping it especially, that you get what you pay for, and that you're not surprised. We send them all over the world. American Samoa the other day, Germany. We have a guy working on, a military guy in Saudi. So it's got to be what we said it was, or there's going to be some disappointment from a long way away, and that we can't have that to be successful. So let's start. Obviously, locking hubs. The tires are probably in real need of replacement. They're kind of chunky and probably 20% tread. There's your Rancho suspension. That's what it is all the way around. Obviously, it did a lot of high-speed driving because this you can't even feel this stuff, and it's just into the bumper. So that's some high-speed bug kills right there. It's got a little ding in the front bumper here. It's got a crack in the grill. This is not a beauty queen by any means. So if you're buying a truck to show off in, do not buy this truck. That said, my job is to throw them under the bus. Just a bunch of little high-speed rock chips. Black never shows well after 100,000 miles, and this is definitely no exception. But it's really, I mean, honestly, it actually looks a lot better than I'm saying, but I have to say this because if someone gets it and doesn't like the way it looks, I don't want them screaming at me, you know? So, there you go. That said, the passenger side body is really in good shape. Just little rock chips here and there. You can kind of see them yourself. But the body's, wow, there's not a ding in it on the passenger side. Tire, just some little stuff like this, but really fairly impressive on the passenger side. Tailgate, fairly average. They always steal, I don't know why they steal these stupid caps, but they do. There's your bed. I did see a brand new spare, so you do have one of those. You have your light package, that plug and that plug. Driver's side. We noticed that it looks like there's been some body work, or not body work, paint work along the very top of the rail, and then it's like on this door and up into the driver door. But it looks high on the door, like maybe it got next to a tree and ran down the side of it. Anyway, I can see sand marks, little stuff going on here, and around the door handle. The paintwork was good, but I don't understand why they didn't sand it properly before they painted it. It looks fine. I mean, it's, like I said, it's not a beauty queen by any means, so it shouldn't be a disappointment to you, but it's my job to point this stuff out. That. There's a little ding under the door here. A couple scrapes right there. Now let's open the hood. Alright. First thing you want to look for is the Ford emblems. There's the Ford emblem on the passenger fender. So you know it hasn't been replaced. When they're wrecked, they don't replace them with Ford parts because they're too expensive. There's a Ford emblem between my fingers. You can kind of see it. It's right there. It is there. I can see it with my eyes. Maybe the HD camera picked it up. It's a little easier to see on this side. Right there. And on the driver fender. It's kind of good to see that stuff. Then you know that none of this stuff has been wrecked or replaced because the replacement cost of those parts with Ford stamps is off the charts. No one does that. So, got some scrapes on the roof. It went underneath a tree, obviously. But unless you're Shaquille O'Neal, I doubt that's going to matter to you. And if it does, you're really on the wrong truck. It's got this graphite deal on it. I think they were trying to make it into like a Harley Davidson look-alike truck on the cheap, which kind of works. The back seat looks brand new, which isn't uncommon for diesel trucks. Usually no one sits in them in the back. Let's look under this. There's your carpet, driver carpet. Put that back. Let's see. Undo the seat belt. There's your driver's seat. Seat bolster. It looks pretty good, really. That's that. Here's your passenger seat. I think that we did a repair on the passenger seat. Let me plug this seat belt in. I've got a earplug in, and it gets tangled up when I put the seat belt on. And I'm not feeling like being strangled by my own cord. All right, let's see this seat. There's a little blemish there, and there was a hole right here, right there in the passenger seat that was repaired. The top of this box has a little nick in it. Looks pretty good. Like I said, this isn't a beauty queen by any means, so I'm trying to avoid any miscommunication here. Let's see if the radio works. Radio does work. You got a 6-disc changer, cup holder. There was some sort of a phone jack plugged in here. We just took that off. That's why those holes are there. Carpet, door panels. Let's see. The air is blowing really nice right now. Very cool. Let's see. Pedal adjuster. Let's see if that works. There's up. There's down. That works fine. We've got tow on and off. There you go. There's your miles. 157,205. We've had this thing running for a good hour, and it's 100 degrees. Everything looks perfect. Water, the engine temperature, tranny temp, oil pressure looks fine. Let's make sure the tilt wheel works, and it does. You've got your cruise control. Let's put it in neutral, and let's put it into four-wheel drive. Let's put it into 4 high first. There's 4 high. Put it into drive. All right. That's 4 high. Let's put it into reverse. Bang. Into reverse. That's perfect. Definitely drive at speed. Let's see if we got the granny gear in 4 low. There's 4 low. Drive. And, oh yeah, top speed, 3. And that's a lot of torque. We put it in reverse. Back it up. Perfect. All right. Put it in neutral. Put it back into 2-wheel drive. There's 2-wheel drive there. And let's go for a ride. That transfer case works really well. I like them on the floor too. A lot easier to deal with. Okay, this is on a salvage title. Because it's on a salvage title, if you come to Tucson to drive it home, it has to have a restored salvage title in order to get plates and to get insurance for you. So, if you come to Tucson, you have to pay us $200. We'll take it to motor vehicles about 6 in the morning, so we're first in line. And if we're lucky, we're out of there at 8 o'clock. 8:15ish. If we're not lucky, we're there all day. They don't let us drop them off anymore, so we can't leave it. Sometimes we're there all day. That's why it's $200. $50 goes to the state for the inspection itself, and then the other $150 is for us to cover what about half the time is a day spent at motor vehicles for one of our guys, just sitting there, doing nothing, watching paint dry. It's well worth the money. Trust me in that matter. Unless you're like in Texas and you know how it works, it's pretty easy to do there. But normally I'd recommend that people just have us do it for them. But if you come here to drive it home, it's mandatory. Otherwise, we can't print up plates for you to drive home. $250 dock fee is also involved, and taxes. Taxes are 2% city tax here in Tucson, plus whatever your state tax rate is. If you're from here in Arizona, our tax rate is 7.1. Our state tax rate in our city is 2, so you're going to pay 9.1% tax, $250 dock fee, and $200 to restore the title. If you're from Oregon or Alaska, where they have a 0%, all you're going to pay is 2% tax, $250 dock fee, and $200 to restore the title. If you pay by wire and ship, you're going to pay the agreed upon price plus $200 only if you want us to restore it for you. Remember that if you don't want us to restore the title, you really, really, really need to make sure that you call your local MVD, get whoever you spoke with, get their first and last names so you can kill somebody if they're wrong, and tell them you're bringing an Arizona theft recovery on a salvage title. You're going to have a salvage title, the truck, and a bill of sale, and that's it. Will you give us an inspection with that to get a rebuild, to restored, or whatever they call it in your state? We can be quiet here and watch it shift. Aside from needing tires, it's got a little bit of tire noise from those off-road tires and having them, so chunked up. But considering the tires are so cruddy, it actually has no vibrations and runs great. Straight, too. Bushings feel good in the steering, which is unusual also. So a set of tires in this thing is all it needs. I wouldn't do anything about its cosmetics because there would just be too much money involved in doing that. So if that matters to you, don't buy the truck. Anyhow, just make sure if you don't want us to restore it and you pay by wire and ship, that you know what you're doing before you do that. Obviously, if you ship it to Michigan and find out that they don't want to inspect it without, a million things from us, which you're not getting, it's a hell of a thing to ship a vehicle back here to get a $200 inspection done. You know what I mean? So please make sure. Also, if we have an accepted offer, you have to get your deposit in. That's how you lock it in. If somebody else comes in, you have a deal, we have a deal at X amount of dollars, and you don't have a $500 deposit in, and somebody comes in with cash, they get it. Doesn't matter if it's 2 seconds after or 2 days after we accept your offer. Please just get it in. That's happening more and more often. People get irritated, but if you knew how many times we held cars for people without a deposit and they never showed up and we never heard from them again, you would understand. So until we have the money, we really, really can't hold the vehicle for you. Okay? Have a great week, great weekend. Hopefully it cools off here. Thank you.